Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Sam.
And I'm Callum.
And today we're doing Bruichladdich Port Charlotte, heavily peated, 10 years aged. Let's do it.
Let's do it! Alright, so the Port Charlotte, heavily peated. We've had one of them. I can't remember which was it. Alright, so with the Port Charlotte, we have originally had the non-age statement heavily peated one, but this is the 10-year.
Yeah, we haven't gone through with the 10-year purchase yet.
No, but we've also had the classic laddie.
We haven't bought the 10-year-old of that.
Yeah, haven't bought that.
We just bought because they're expensive here. It's $100 for the non-age statement here.
Alright, so the Port Charlotte heavily peated comes in at 50% alcohol, so what's that? 100.
Exactly.
It's 100 proof.
100 proof.
So it's a pretty hefty whiskey as well. Alright, so in terms of peat content, it rings in at 40 parts per million, which is it's fairly hefty.
It's a lot. It's heavily peated, but
when you go back to the Octomore that we reviewed a couple of times ago, a couple of episodes ago, was it like 100? I think 100 parts per million.
I don't know. We'll have to look at that, but it's a lot more.
All right, so let's get into the nose of Port Charlotte. Yeah, it's just nice.
To me, it hits like I have this like nostalgic love of cheese and bacon balls, Cheetos cheese and bacon balls, and I get I get this heavily. There's like that bacon cheesiness going on. I don't know. I get
how
savoury it is.
I get the cheese. It's like if you were to fry not fry. Yeah, to me, it smells like if you were to put a T-bone steak on the barbecue, and then just before it's about to be finished cooking, you layer a slice of cheese on top. I genuinely get that. Like
it is cheesy. I'll give you that.
Cheesy, meaty, briny.
It's meaty, yeah. It's got that. It hits all the typical Islay notes. Like it does hit them all. Like it's not like insanely briny like Lafroig, but it does have brine in there. Like it's not lacking. So.
And then there's a sea salt flakes as well. It's just a classic Islay. I guess we're getting into the taste then.
I just need to taste it. It's so good.
Oh.
There is some fruits on the nose as well, I guess. There is like light citrus, but it's again as if you were doing a roast and you threw in like lemons and stuff to be slow roasted with the meat. It's not bright, fresh citrus on its own. It's definitely after it's been cooked, I'd say.
On the taste, I can kind of get some orange peel. Like if you were to freshly chop off some orange peel, like that very first bite, it's like fruity,
but again though, it feels like you've thrown orange peel on a grill, like It's like there's vanilla in there, I reckon, because it's sweet,
it's deep in there,
but it's like the brininess shows up more in the palate than the nose. The nose is more savoury.
I was saying before when we tried this, before we recorded, I was saying that the nose reminded me of Lagavulin 16, just how rich and deep it was. But when you take a sip, it's less
balanced than the
Lagavulin. It's like a, I don't want to say worse version, but it's like a less defined version of Lafroig. It's not as...
Yeah, it's a less balanced version. Yeah. I probably enjoy this equally, though, to be honest, just because it has the bright, meaty, peaty notes. Like it's a bit higher than the Lagavulin, but Lagavulin is definitely more balanced in that regard. Like it does have a lot of low notes. The base is heavy with Lagavulin's got lots of dark fruits and sweetness and stuff. This is it's got some fruitiness, but it's not the same way as Lagavulin.
Yeah.
So, but I get the comparison. It makes sense. The finish is kind of like the medicinal notes stay. I think it's heavy oil, so those phenols they linger, so you get the medicinal kind of band-aid taste. You get the peat sticking around. The sweetness lifts off, and you get a
little bit of minty
fruit.
freshness.
Yeah, I was about to say a bit more fresh fruit. Yeah, mintiness maybe. It's a beautiful Islay.
Alright, so we're going to compare the Port Charlotte 10 to the Lagavulin 16 as we made that comparison before. So we'll see how it actually stacks up when we actually try.
I forgot we had any left.
Alright, so
Wow, I get chlorine from this all of a sudden.
I was gonna say it's pretty close comparison. There's a few differences, but
Much
when you compare
much
them,
peatier, much more meaty, savory. This is like got some fresh mint.
Mint.
It's got fresh mint. It's got. I'm genuinely getting chlorine now.
See what I have to put up with. Tastes similar?
No, not similar. Like, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
for Islay, similar, I guess, the way all islands have similar characteristics, but this is much warmer. Like, this tastes and smells warmer, like hot coals, like meat that's just come off the barbecue. This is more fresh.
I get a rush of smoke
Really?
building up into the sinus cavity.
Just
when you
from,
have that.
I reckon this is more peaty.
I reckon this. Personally, I reckon this is more briny,
Yeah, it is, definitely.
and then this is more. I don't know if it's peat or if it's. I don't really. For me, it just builds. You have a sip and it builds up in your sinus cavity. All that like
Actually, I'm
heat.
just getting it now too.
It's like a build. It like winds up.
Yeah, I think that's all the light bright notes going on. It's weird. It's got this kind of like, I know it's got light bright notes, but it's also got such low notes. It kind of not polarized, but like.
I mean, we said it was balanced.
it is balanced, definitely. It's just like, I don't know. When you compare it to this, it kind of freaks my palate out. To be honest, I don't know how to describe the differences. Port Charlotte, more savory meatiness, more salty, and more briny. Lagavulin 16, I'd say more light fruit, some mint, less briny,
But balanced,
less malty.
perfectly. Like this nose, I don't know what. There's something about it. Like if this was in a Glencairn where it funneled the aromas into your nose, I reckon
Jesus, I reckon the smell is where you pick up the differences.
it's just
more.
dissipating out of that because there's no funneling. Like
I'm getting tons out of this though. Like,
I can't smell out of that. So if you didn't know, Glencairns are developed.
I'm getting
so
like-
they funnel.
I'm getting like BO and chlorine, and I mean that in an enjoyable way. I don't know how to describe it. I don't smell and like go back and forth.
This smells like how I imagine a fisherman that's out at sea for 3 or 4 months comes back smelling like. It smells like fish, brine.
I reckon the Port Charlotte's more briny.
On the nose, this is darker and richer for me.
I don't know what's going on.
Dark rich, like dark cherry, dark plum, dark fruits.
See, I don't know. It's freaking your palate out.
For me, this smells like a fisherman that's been away from home for 10 months.
This is all meat and savory, sweet and saltiness.
But then you have a sip and it's like, ooh, brine, sweet.
This is swapping again, and I'm getting like even more Cheetos out of this. I don't know.
I think we should stop the comparison.
This is definitely. I'm still maintaining more balance.
No.
It's smoother. It's got more low notes. I'm gonna quit the comparisons though because I don't know. Every time I go for the initial comparison, I was like, yes, this versus this, I can tell you what's different. Then I went back and I was like, oh, actually, but maybe this. And then I went back again to the other one. I have no idea where I am anymore.
But I mean, that just goes to show how much whiskey can change.
Oh god, yeah. Whatever you had before or after will change.
And it's also personal preference. We could pick something up, and if you try this, you might pick something.
Some of my favorite whiskeys are no longer my favorite whiskeys because I thought they were once, and then I tasted them another time, and they were nothing alike. And I've never been able to get what I did originally from them.
Yeah.
Like it's a frustrating hobby to have whiskey because like you really don't know how they're gonna sit with you.
Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the
Video.
Thank you for watching this episode on Port Charlotte. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Maybe even share it between your friends. We'll appreciate it if you do. Anyway, cheers. We'll see you next time.
See you later.